What if the ones trained to protect you became the greatest threat? And the only hope left was someone the system abandoned. In 1996, San Francisco bore witness to a crisis like no other. A decorated war hero went rogue. A city was placed under imminent threat, and an extraordinary recovery operation was set in motion. What you're about to see is a reconstruction of the Alcatraz incident, based on declassified files and redacted government records. This is The Rock.
Welcome to The Rock.
Okay, standing by for your instructions.
A rogue U.S. Marine Corps Force recon unit led by Brigadier General Francis X. Hummel, operating under the guise of a routine security exercise, infiltrated the Naval Weapons Station. Using brutal but non-lethal force, the unit secured the facility and commandeered 15 M55VX nerve agent rockets. During the operation, one Marine was eliminated after exposure to VX gas caused by a compromised payload. This marked the first confirmed casualty of the incident. General Hummel seized control of Alcatraz Island during a scheduled guided tour. 81 civilian tourists and staff were taken hostage and secured inside the prison cell blocks. According to witness reports, Hummel encountered a group of children on a school trip and calmly instructed them to return to the ferry with their teacher. No harm was inflicted. FBI Director James Womack received direct communication from General Hummel. Hummel issued an ultimatum.
This is FBI Director Womack.
Director, be advised. 81. I say again, 81 civilians are under my control as of this moment. You are to take measures to assure this remains a need-to-know classified fact.
Who is this?
Mr. Director, you have a very serious problem. A battery of VX gas rockets is presently deployed to deliver a highly lethal strike on the population of the San Francisco Bay Area. I will call again at 0000 hours to state my demands.
I want to know who I'm talking to.
This is Brigadier General Francis X. Hummel, United States Marine Corps, from Alcatraz. Out.
An emergency briefing convened with representatives from the White House, FBI, CIA, U.S. Navy, and U.S. Air Force. General Hummel formally transmitted his demands.
General, it's him. Frank, Sal Kramer.
Oh, yeah, Al, how you doing?
I don't know, Frank. Why don't you tell me? Got a lot of very, very worried people here, Frank.
I'll come straight to the point. 83 Force Reconnaissance Marines have died under my various commands. 47 in northern Laos and southern China.
No benefits were paid to their families. No medals conferred. These men died for their country and they weren't even given a goddamn military burial. The situation is unacceptable. You will transfer $100 million from the Grand Cayman Red Sea Trading Company account to an account I designate. From these funds, reparations of $1 million will be paid to each of the 83 Marines' families. The rest of the funds I will disperse at my discretion. Do I make myself clear?
Unless the US government paid ransom and reparations to the families of 83 Force Recon Marines perished during illegal, off-the-books operations under his command, he would launch the VX rockets at San Francisco. The Marines' deaths, he claimed, were never acknowledged. Their families never compensated. Unable to reason with Hummel, U.S. Navy Commander Charles Anderson was tasked with devising a tactical response. The proposed plan: infiltrate the subterranean tunnel system beneath Alcatraz, emerge inside the prison complex, and neutralize the rocket positions without firing a shot. However, the tunnel network was vast, unstable, and undocumented. First-hand intelligence was required. CIA Director Milton Amway proposed a radical solution: the use of a man who, officially, does not exist, an inmate held in deep isolation at Wolfsburg Penitentiary, a former Alcatraz prisoner with intimate knowledge of the island's infrastructure. The only man to ever escape Alcatraz, Prisoner X, John Patrick Mason. National Security Advisor Louis Lindstrom and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Albert Kramer, attempted to negotiate with General Hummel.
Hello, Frank. Lou Lindstrom. I'm at the White House with General Kramer.
Frank, we're having a few problems with the account transfer.
Don't tell me problems, tell me solutions.
Now, we've spoken to the president, and I know that you're well aware of his stance on. So what we'd like to do is...
This isn't about... This is about justice.
This is going nowhere, Frank.
Well, then let me tell you what is. 15 VX gas rockets into the heart of San Francisco. You've got 17 hours to deliver the money. Or be prepared to reap the whirlwind, gentlemen.
All efforts failed. With diplomatic options exhausted, authorization was given.
Green light to seal incursion.
A joint task force was assembled consisting of a 10-man U.S. Navy SEAL team led by Commander Anderson, John Mason, newly released civilian consultant and former Alcatraz inmate, and Dr. Stanley Goodspeed, FBI chemical weapons expert.
Have you ever been in a combat situation?
Define combat, sir.
Shot?
An incursion underwater to retake an impregnable fortress held by an elite team of U.S. Marines in possession of 81 hostages and 15 guided rockets armed with VX poisoned gas.
Oh. In that case, no, sir. Excuse me.
Mission objective: infiltrate Alcatraz Island, neutralize the VX rocket threat, and signal mission success by deploying green flares.
Make no mistake, gentlemen. We are in the fight of our lives. Against maybe the greatest battalion commander in the Vietnam War, I shit you not. Slow down!
The team boarded a CH-53C Stallion, flanked by two AH-1 Cobra attack helicopters, acting as diversionary cover. The aircraft were dispatched from Naval Air Station Alameda, heading northwest toward Alcatraz. As they approached Treasure Island, the formation deliberately split. The Cobra gunships maintained their original flight path, drawing attention and attracting eyes away from the primary insertion vector. Meanwhile, the Sea Stallion broke off, dropping below radar coverage as it circled Treasure Island and approached Alcatraz from the north. Payload included two Mk-139B SEAL delivery units for submerged insertion. The task force entered the water undetected. They successfully breached the island's tunnel system.
The Eagles are on the rock.
The incursion team successfully breached the tunnel system and exited through the cistern. Using Mason's first-hand knowledge of the facility, the team was able to access the steam room and navigate the subterranean access routes.
Welcome to the Rock.
The team entered the shower room, preparing to exit via the main drain pipe.
This is General Hummel.
It was a kill zone. General Hummel's Force Recon Unit had anticipated the incursion. The SEAL team was surrounded, flanked on all sides from elevated positions, weapons trained, with no clear escape. It was a standoff.
You're down there! We're up here! You walked into the wrong goddamn room, Commander! Goddamn it, Commander, one last time. You tell your men to safety their weapons, drop them on the deck. I cannot give that order! I am not gonna repeat that order! I will not give that order! What the hell is wrong with you, man? Stand fast!
What followed was a firefight that led to multiple KIA. SEAL Team 1 was eliminated.
You made a terrible mistake, and more of our brothers have died in vain. Damn you for forcing me into this position.
But the mission isn't over. Eagle 11 and Eagle 12 are still in play. The fate of the 81 hostages and the entire population of San Francisco now rests in the hands of two men, Stanley Goodspeed and John Mason.
We've got a 60-year-old convict and a lab rat. I'm telling you, it's over.
Not for Mason, it isn't.
So who is John Mason? According to recently declassified intelligence records, John Patrick Mason was a former British SAS commander and an operative for MI6. In 1962, Mason allegedly stole a microfilm containing highly classified US intelligence documents from the FBI. He was apprehended at the Canadian border, but the microfilm was never recovered. Evidence suggests Mason concealed the material in a secure location and refused to disclose its whereabouts. The British government, citing plausible deniability, denied any knowledge of his existence. With no legal or diplomatic resolution in sight, FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover ordered Mason imprisoned, without trial, at Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, where he was held indefinitely until he cooperated. Instead of breaking, Mason adapted. He studied every inch of the island, mapped its weaknesses, tracked guard routines, and after 6 months of preparation, executed the only successful escape from Alcatraz in recorded history. Mason is meticulous, cunning, highly trained, and lethally efficient, a man shaped by espionage, covert operations, and sanctioned violence, a ghost erased by governments, yet indispensable when everything goes wrong, an agent operating in the shadows, with a license to kill.
Mason's angry, he's lethal, he's a trained killer. And he is the only hope that we have got.
But Mason wasn't the only veteran serviceman to be betrayed by the very government he loyally served. General Francis Xavier Hummel was a decorated United States Marine Corps officer. Much like Mason, he was heavily involved in clandestine operations, serving in countless deployments in deniable ops around the world. He served 3 tours in Vietnam, Panama, Grenada, and Operation Desert Storm. He was also active in covert operations in northern Laos and southern China. He was considered a living legend, a highly respected war hero, and received a number of awards including 3 Purple Hearts, 2 Silver Stars, and a Congressional Medal of Honor. He was respected by his superiors, revered by the men under his command, and trusted with missions few others were cleared to lead. Under his command, 83 Marines were killed in such operations. The classified nature of these missions meant their deaths were officially unrecognized. Their families received no benefits, no explanations, and no public acknowledgement of sacrifice. After many failed attempts to get his fallen men the recognition they deserved via the proper channels, Hummel eventually resorted to drastic measures.
When they don't come home, their families are told fairy tales about what happened to them. Well, I have choked on these lies my entire career. Well, here and now, the lies stop!
Mason and Hummel are 2 sides of the same coin. Both men were ordered to operate in secrecy. They were both used by governments that later disavowed them, and they understood the price of loyalty in a system built on deniability.
Name and rank, sailor.
Captain John Patrick Mason, General, sir, of Her Majesty's SAS. Retired, of course.
And you wouldn't have any fucking idea what it means to lead some of the finest men on God's earth into battle and then see their memory betrayed by their own fucking government.
I don't quite see how you cherish the memory of the dead by killing another million. And, this is not combat. It's an act of lunacy. General, sir. Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot.
Tree of Liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Thomas Jefferson.
Patriotism is the virtue of the vicious, according to Oscar Wilde.
The difference lies in how they responded. Mason remained silent. He endured imprisonment without trial and protected his mission long after it had any strategic value. Hummel flipped the table. The strike deadline arrived. The Pentagon did not concede to General Hummel's demands. With no response forthcoming, Hummel initiated launch procedures. The missile traveled southeast at approximately 300 knots. Initial trajectory indicated a direct strike on the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum, where an estimated 60,000 civilians had gathered for a football game. Moments before impact, the missile abruptly altered course. It banked hard to the right, redirected westward, lost altitude, and detonated over open water in the San Francisco Bay. Data recovered from the debris later revealed that the missile guidance system was overridden remotely from the Alcatraz command terminal. The only personnel with authorized access was General Hummel. Why he redirected the missile remains unclear. Was it a warning shot? A calculated bluff? Or the last intervention of a man who could not bring himself to cross a final line?
Excuse me, General, but what about the fucking money?
There is no fucking money. Mission's over.
Bullshit, it's over.
This mission was based on the threat of force. I'm not about to kill 80,000 innocent people. Do you think I'm out of my fucking mind?
Despite his mutiny, Hummel demonstrated restraint throughout the operation. At Concord Naval Weapons Station, guards were neutralized, not executed. During the seizure of Alcatraz, children were deliberately released, and his stated objective remained consistent: recognition and restitution for the Marines lost under his command. History would later describe him as a well-intentioned extremist. General Francis Xavier Hummel and his remaining men were eliminated shortly after the missile detonation during an internal confrontation. Ballistics evidence suggests Hummel was ultimately shot by members of his own unit, men who had followed him into mutiny and then turned their weapons on him.
But like he said, it's over.
The 81 civilian hostages were released when spotters positioned around the Bay of San Francisco observed green flares signaling mission success. The airstrike was aborted. Well, most of it. Dr. Stanley Goodspeed was recovered alive. He was the sole survivor of SEAL Team 1. According to his official debrief, John Mason was vaporized. No body was recovered.
So where's Mason?
Vaporized. Blown out to sea.
Blown out to sea, huh? Poor bastard.
The siege of Alcatraz remains one of the most unusual military incidents in modern history, one shrouded in action, intrigue, and tactical espionage. If you'd like to learn more about the incident, do check out the 1996 documentary, The Rock by Michael Bay, a grounded, realistic, and very cool retelling of the events that transpired.